Good morning. Welcome to Soulful Self-Love Sunday. I'm Cheryl Rozovsky, the owner and CEO of soulfulinteriors.com. And I'd like to welcome you back to our weekly self-love discussion. And today we're talking about self-worth. So I'm just going to wait a minute just to see if people jump on. Just to give them a moment to jump on, I'm just going to check something quickly to make sure we're on. Let's see. We should be on. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and you guys can watch in the replay. I got my hair cut yesterday, and it feels kind of short, but I like it. Okay. So I'm going to stop playing with it. In any case, so welcome. And so today we're going to talk about self-worth. So the reason that this subject and how that relates to self-love obviously is your self-worth is deeply connected to loving yourself, in the sense that everything that you do is a reflection, in a sense, of your self-worth and therefore your self-love. So the more that you love yourself, the more that you take aligned actions to loving yourself, the higher you value yourself and your self-worth rises. So I'm going to talk personally. My eyes were teary. I don't know whether it's the cream that I use or what. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal experience this week with self-worth. So on a very vulnerable, open admission, I have started dating again. I think I mentioned that in one of the last videos, and it's exciting and it's scary and it's something that is outside of my comfort zone. So we're talking, hi, someone just joined, so welcome. And we're talking about self-worth today. And the reason that we're talking about self-worth is because of something that came up in my personal life, and that is related to dating. So I have been getting messages back and forth and dating this one person recently for a couple of weeks, and then this other person messaged me, so I went out for a coffee date with them, and they were very flirtatious, and it was nice. They're attractive, intelligent, kind, seemed like a good person. And then they were messaging me back, texting me about getting together for a second date, and they were flirtatious and in a way that made me a little uncomfortable. And so I said, very honestly, I literally said, so honestly, can you tell me what you're actually looking for? And that person was very honest back, and they said, I'm looking for a lover and maybe something more. And I said, well, thank you very much. I think we're looking for different things. I appreciate your honesty and your ability to be open, and I think we're not on the same page. So I'm gonna actually have to cancel our date for Saturday night, and I'm gonna make other plans. And they're like, okay, you seem like a nice person. And I said, you do too, thank you, all the best. And so that was actually something that I'm really proud of, that I actually, rather than going through with the motion of going on another date with someone who wants something quite different from what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for a committed long-term relationship with someone who is interested in the same. So as a result, I ended up, canceling that date, and I felt so good. I felt this like surge of empowerment, this incredible feeling of self-worth, this value that I placed on myself. Like, you just basically want, even calling it a lover is you want to have sex, and that's okay. I've partaken in that. There's time and place for that, but this isn't what I'm looking for right now. So there's that. So that's one instance when I just feel so grateful that I had the strength and the courage to say, no, thank you very much. I wish you all the best. And so I'm curious to know, for those of you right now, I think we had one person. Anyways, for those of you who are watching, you know, how do you value your self-worth? Like, what are boundaries that you create in your life? And that's probably, we talked about boundaries, you know, a couple months ago in the beginning. Boundaries are so crucial. Like, what are your definitive yeses and nos? Like, what will you definitively say, hell no, or a hell yeah? Like, hell no, I'm not just jumping into bed with anyone just to be another notch on their bedpost. Like, I actually want someone who takes the time to get to know me and get to know about who I am and what I do and what I'm like, and I get to know them, and then we build a loving, connected relationship over time. And so going back to that, so boundaries are important to know. What are your hell no's? Because I think I mentioned this in another video, you know, when I said minimizing last week, I had dated someone who smokes, and wow, that should have been a hell no right at the beginning, but my self-worth at the time was not at a higher level. And I'm like, okay, I'm willing to let that go because the person is a good person and I'm attracted to them and they have great qualities, etc. And now I'm like, hell no, hell no. You're smoking, that's okay, but you don't care about your health, and you're not caring about, you know, that you could get cancer. And we all have vices, don't get me wrong, but that's just one vice that I don't want to be in a relationship with a person who is partaking in that vice. So that for me is a line in the sand now. And so something else came up recently talking about self-worth. This other person that I'm dating for a couple weeks, there's definitely a chemistry, there's definitely an attraction, there's definitely an intellectual interest, there's definitely an emotional connection, and yet they're very recently out of a marriage. So they're not even divorced, they're just separated. And I'm like, at first I knew that was a red flag for me, that this person is not yet ready to be in a committed long-term relationship. But I felt a connection with that individual so deeply, something I hadn't actually felt since my husband. And I was like, minimizing again, that following my heart, the pitter patter, the butterflies, the excitement, the giggles, the laughter, the holding hands, the stealing kisses and all that. And now I'm like, no, I want something more. So unfortunately that person is going to no longer be someone that I date. They're going to be, well, I don't know, even if a friend, but it's a matter of really knowing like your value, like what you really want. Like I sort of equate it to, because I live in Quebec and we eat poutine, which is terrible for you, but I sort of equate it like a poutine, like, or chips or any other, something that you crave that is a nice chocolate bar, not a healthy 70% cacao chocolate bar, but like a big Mars bar. I don't know. I'm not a big chocolate person, but in other words, so like for me, it's that, that pint of Haagen-Dazs that you crave and you dive into, and then you're like, oh God, what did I just do? It felt so good in the moment. It tasted so good, but is that really what I want? Or do I really want long-term health? Do I really want to take off the extra weight? And now how long is it going to take me to take off those extra pounds that I just put on because I just ate a pint of Haagen-Dazs? So the person that I'm dating, as much as they're yummy and delicious and exciting and everything like that, they're not in alignment with what I really want long-term. So now I'm at a point where I've made a decision yesterday, and I'm going to actually share it with them today. So it's kind of scary. That, I care about you. You've got so much, and we're not in the same space. We're not looking for the same things, and that's okay. And I wish you all the best on your journey. And I now will create an opening in my life for that person who could be, who is ready, willing, and open to being in a long-term committed relationship. And that is a feeling of freedom and expansion and excitement. Like, wow, I have now released something that, let go of eating the Haagen-Dazs ice cream whenever I'm not a big ice cream person either, but for me, it's the poutine. So letting go of those things that those cravings that you have for the delicious, and then saying, oh no, I would use the metaphor, the filet mignon steak that I can have, something of a higher quality, something that is going to sustain me, something that is healthy-ish. I know, all you vegans, don't hate me. So, yeah, it's just something to think about. Are you thinking, in terms of your self-worth, are you thinking about the immediate gratification? Are you thinking about the long term? What is going to build your self-worth and your value over the long term? For me, as some of you who follow me on Facebook, you saw I put a post recently on my recent loss of weight and inches. I've been working out at the gym twice a week for the past 5 months, and I've taken off inches, and the pounds weren't going down, and it wasn't until I let go of sugar that the pounds started to release too. And I just feel good in my body. I feel confident because I get there and I invest in myself. I take care of myself. I love my body. I make healthier choices when I'm eating. So my self-worth is about holistically seeing what's important to me, what's important to the information that I put in my head, because my self-worth comes with knowing that I'm taking care, self-care. My confidence and my self-worth build when I make decisions that are in alignment with who I am. So for example, here's another example. I got the opportunity, which most of you know about if you've been following me for a bit, to work at the center that helped save my life, really, truly. And it's not a huge amount of money, but it's not about the money. The confidence and the love and the passion and the excitement and the passion that I have for doing that, it builds my confidence because it's what I love and it's who I am. In so many ways, I share all of who I am at my work. So that builds my self-worth and my value and my confidence because I'm doing what I love. So what are you doing to build your self-worth, your confidence, your value? Are you creating boundaries in relationships and letting people know that, no, that's not okay? Hell no, I'm not going to accept that. Where are you drawing the line in the sand? How are you taking care of your body and your mind and your spirit? What are you doing to create practices, rituals on a regular basis to support you? How are you expressing who you truly are through the work that you do? Do you love it? Is it your passion? So these are all, loaded questions, and I welcome your information, your comments below. Please comment and like and share, because I think this is an important message. I think this week is an incredibly important message about stepping into your worth through knowing your value. And so one of the things that came to me recently through working with someone who does a multitude of things, and one of the things that he does is psychically sort of channel your guides for you. And some of you may not believe in that, and that's okay. And he and I are very deeply connected, and he talked about the work that I do, the self-love work, and I'm actually going to have a self-love challenge, a summer of self-love challenge coming up that I'm going to let you know about soon. It's in the works, sort of. It's in the beginnings of the works, but it's coming up. And he said that the people that I need to help the most with the self-love work, which I'm doing, which I'm putting out there and sharing, and the emotional healing work that I'm doing, is actually working with men. And I was like, wow, that's interesting, because he talked about, because I gravitate more towards working with women, but he sort of, and I've worked with a few men, and what he said was, these people, particular people from, it's not socioeconomic, it's more cultural backgrounds, that have learned that they need to be strong on the outside. So it actually may look and appear like their self-worth and their self-value is really high, but actually they're struggling because that's a facade that they're putting on, the macho facade. So anyways, if that's something that resonates with you, it's of interest to me to get in touch with you. I'm interested in pursuing that further and seeing how I can be of service to help people who are feeling like they need to create the illusion of self-worth through acting as if they're super confident when inside they're struggling and dealing with demons and challenges that are difficult beyond words. So I'm putting that out there as a message to any of you men. Contact me, personal message me through Facebook, and I'm interested in working with you and helping you. If there's anything that I can do, through the work that I do, through the emotional healing work and the journey work, etc. So I think that's it for today. It was a juicy topic, and I look forward to your comments and responding back to them. And please like and share this video. I think it's an important message. So thank you. I'm Cheryl Rosofsky, soulfulinteriors.com. Thank you for spending the time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday.